Okay, let me start by saying this story is one that's been buried deep inside me for years now. It's not something I ever thought I'd share, but here I am, laying it all out because keeping it locked up has been eating me alive. You know how some secrets just fester, growing heavier with every passing day until they feel like they're going to burst out of you. That's what this was like for me. I carried it around like a weight on my chest, replaying moments in my head during sleepless nights, wondering if I could have handled things differently. But hindsight is always clearer, right? Anyway, I'll try to tell it straight, from the beginning, without sugarcoating the messy parts. Because trust me, it gets messy. Picture this: I'm 24, fresh out of college, and I've boomeranged right back to my mom's place in this sleepy suburb outside Chicago. It's one of those neighborhoods where everyone knows everyone's business, kids playing in the streets, barbecues on weekends, the whole American dream vibe. But for me, it's temporary limbo. I've got a business degree that's supposed to open doors, but so far, it's just led to a stack of rejection emails and awkward phone interviews. I'm crashing in my old room, posters from high school still on the walls, feeling like a kid again even though I'm supposed to be an adult. Mom's great about it, though. She's always been my rock, single mom, working double shifts as a nurse to make ends meet after Dad bailed when I was little. No drama there, he just vanished, and we moved on. Life's pretty mundane at that point. Wake up late, scroll job sites, hit the gym to blow off steam, maybe grab beers with old high school buddies who are in the same boat. We talk about dreams, starting businesses, traveling the world, but mostly it's just complaining about how nothing's panning out. And then there are the family talks, the ones where relatives corner you at dinners and ask, "So, what are you doing with your life now?" I dodge them like punches, mumbling about figuring it out. It's exhausting, that pressure to have it all together when inside, you're a mess of uncertainty. But then, one night, everything flips upside down in a way I never saw coming. It was a Friday evening, the kind where the summer heat lingers even after the sun dips low, making the air thick and sticky. You can hear crickets chirping outside, and the neighborhood feels lazy, like it's winding down for the weekend. My mom had her usual girls' night planned with her best friend, Aunt Lisa. Now, she's not really my aunt, no blood relation or anything, but that's what I've called her since I was a kid, toddling around in diapers. Lisa's been a fixture in our lives forever, she's like the cool extension of our little family unit. She and Mom met back in high school, bonded over shared crushes and bad haircuts, and they've been inseparable ever since. Lisa's the one who shows up with homemade lasagna when Mom's had a rough week, or takes me to baseball games when I was younger because Mom was pulling overtime. Lisa's in her mid-40s, divorced a few years back from some guy who sounded like a real piece of work, controlling, distant, the works. No kids of her own, which I always thought was a shame because she's got that nurturing vibe. Always the fun one, sneaking me candy behind Mom's back or letting me stay up late watching movies when she babysat. And yeah, I'll admit it, she's attractive. Not in a flashy way, but she's kept herself fit with all those yoga classes and runs in the park. Dark hair that falls just right, a warm smile that lights up a room, and eyes that crinkle at the corners when she laughs. I've always noticed her in a distant, off-limits kind of way, you know. Like admiring a painting you can't touch, or appreciating a sunset without trying to own it. She's family, end of story. That night, Mom and Lisa are in the living room, sprawled on the couch with a bottle of red wine between them, laughing over old gossip. I can hear snippets, something about a mutual friend dating a younger guy, or work drama at the hospital. I'm in the kitchen, rummaging through the fridge for a beer, trying to stay out of their way. I pop the cap and take a sip, the cold fizz hitting my throat just right. But then Mom's phone buzzes on the counter. It's work, some emergency shift at the hospital she has to cover. She's a nurse in the ER, so this happens more often than not. Patients don't care about weekends. She sighs, apologizes profusely to Lisa, says she'll be back late, maybe around midnight or later. Alex, honey, keep Lisa company if you want, she calls out as she grabs her keys. Don't let her get bored. I wave it off with a casual, sure, no problem. No big deal, right? I've hung out with Lisa plenty of times growing up, board games, movie nights, even helping her move furniture once after her divorce. Mom heads out, the door clicking shut behind her, and suddenly the house feels a little quieter, a little more intimate. It's just me and Lisa now. She pokes her head into the kitchen, wine glass in hand, and suggests we watch a movie to kill time. Something light, she says, like that old comedy we all loved. What was it, The Hangover? I agree, grabbing another beer and some popcorn from the microwave. We settle on the couch in the living room, a respectful distance apart, the bowl of popcorn acting like a neutral zone between us. The TV flickers to life, and the movie starts rolling. The wine's flowing for her, she's on her second glass already, and I'm nursing my beer slowly, not wanting to get too buzzed. Conversation starts easy, like it always does. She asks about job hunting, any leads? You know, I have a friend in marketing who might have openings. I shrug, tell her about a couple interviews that went nowhere, how the market's tough for new grads. Then it shifts to personal stuff, any girlfriends keeping you busy, she teases with a wink. I laugh it off, say I've been single since college, focusing on myself. It's comfortable, familiar. But as the movie drags on, honestly, it's funnier in memory than rewatching. I notice she's glancing at me more than usual. Not staring, but these quick looks, like she's studying my face. Her laughs seem a bit forced too, like her mind's elsewhere, distracted by something bubbling under the surface. Halfway through, maybe an hour in, she hits pause on the remote and turns to me, her face shifting from relaxed to serious all of a sudden. The room feels smaller, the air thicker. Hey, Alex, she says, her voice softer, almost hesitant, like she's weighing every word. Can I tell you something? Something I've been holding on to for a while now. I nod, popping a kernel into my mouth, thinking it's about her ex-husband or some life advice she's been mulling over. Maybe she's lonely and needs to vent. But then she leans in closer, close enough that I can smell her perfume, something floral and warm, and her eyes lock onto mine with an intensity that makes my pulse quicken. She whispers, barely audible over the hum of the AC, I've wanted you for years. Since you were a teen, really. Watching you grow up, it's been torture keeping it to myself. My heart stops. I mean, literally, I feel it freeze in my chest, like time just slammed on the brakes. The popcorn kernel sticks in my throat, and I cough, trying to play it cool but failing miserably. What do you even say to that? This is my mom's best friend, the woman who's been at every birthday party, every family holiday, every milestone in my life. She's helped me with homework, bandaged my scraped knees, celebrated my graduations. She's like a second mom to me, for God's sake. But there she is, confessing this bombshell out of nowhere, her hand lightly brushing my arm, sending these unexpected chills down my spine that I don't know how to interpret. I stammer something dumb like, Lisa, what? You're joking, right? This is a prank or something. My voice comes out higher than usual, betraying the shock. But her expression, it's dead serious, laced with this raw longing I've never seen before, like she's unburdening a soul-deep secret. Her eyes are glistening a bit, not full tears but close, and she shakes her head slowly. I'm not joking, Alex. I wish I was, but I'm not. She pulls back a little, giving me space, but doesn't break eye contact. Your mom doesn't know, and she can't ever know. But I had to say it. You're a man now, and God, the way you look at me sometimes, the way you've grown into yourself, I thought maybe you felt it too. Or at least noticed. I don't know if I did or not, maybe subconsciously, in those fleeting moments where I'd catch myself thinking she was beautiful. But in that instant, my mind's racing 1,000,000 miles an hour with a chaotic mix of shock, flattery, and this creeping guilt that's already starting to twist in my gut. What if Mom walks in right now, shift ending early? What does this mean for our family dynamic, this tight-knit trio we've always been? And worse, why am I not bolting out of there, making an excuse to leave the room or the house? Instead, I'm frozen, staring back at her, feeling this weird pull that's as confusing as it is terrifying. That's how it started, the confession that shattered everything I thought I knew about loyalty, desire, and the lines you don't cross in life. If you've ever been hit with something so forbidden, so out of left field, that it makes your stomach twist into knots and your thoughts spiral, you know exactly the feeling I'm talking about. It's like standing on the edge of a cliff, wind whipping around you, deciding whether to step back or jump. Stick around, because this is just the beginning of how it all unraveled, and trust me, it gets way more complicated from here. Alright, let's rewind a bit so you get the full picture, because context matters in a story like this. My name's Alex, and like I said, I was 24 when this whole thing went down. Born and raised in that quiet suburb outside Chicago, where the winters are brutal and the summers are humid as hell. It was just Mom and me for most of my life. Dad split when I was 5, off to who knows where with some other woman, I think. Mom never badmouthed him, but she didn't sugarcoat it either. People change, honey, she'd say. She threw herself into work, picking up extra shifts at the hospital to keep the roof over our heads and food on the table. We weren't poor, but we weren't rolling in it either. Vacations were rare, maybe a drive to the lake for a weekend, but we were happy, in that resilient way families get after hardship. Lisa entered the picture early on. She and Mom were high school besties, the kind who finish each other's sentences and have inside jokes from decades ago. Lisa was always the adventurous one, traveled a bit after college, married young, divorced not long after. No kids, which she said was by choice, but I sometimes wondered if it bothered her. She was Mom's lifeline through the tough times, helped with the divorce paperwork when Dad left, babysat me during Mom's long hours, even co-signed on our mortgage when banks were hesitant about a single mom. She's the type who'd show up unannounced with ice cream after a bad day or tickets to a Cubs game just because. Family, plain and simple. I grew up calling her Aunt Lisa, even though there's no blood tie, and it stuck. As for me, I was your average kid growing up. Decent at sports, played soccer in high school, nothing pro-level but good enough for the team. Grades were okay, BS mostly, with a few as in subjects I liked, like history. No major drama in my teen years, no rebellions, no run-ins with the law. I had friends, went to parties, had my first kiss at 15 with a girl from math class. College was out of state, at a mid-tier university in Ohio, studying business because it seemed practical, like something that could lead to stability. I partied a bit, dated a few girls, one serious relationship that fizzled out junior year when we realized we wanted different things. Nothing earth-shattering. Coming home after graduation felt like a step back, like I was regressing while the world moved forward. Mom was cool about it, though. "Take your time, honey. Life's not a race," she'd say, hugging me tight. But I felt the pressure, that nagging voice in my head saying I should be independent by now. Lisa was around a lot in those post-college months too. She'd drop by with takeout or career advice. She works in real estate, so she knows people. "You'd be great in sales, Alex. You've got that charm." She'd always been flirty in a harmless, ant-like way, complimenting my haircut or teasing me about turning into a handsome young man. I'd roll my eyes and laugh it off, chalking it up to her outgoing personality. She's touchy-feely with everyone, hugs that last a second too long, pats on the back. Never thought twice about it. But looking back, maybe there were signs I missed, little breadcrumbs leading to that confession. Like the summer I turned 18, right before heading off to college. We had a pool party at our place, Mom, Lisa, a few neighbors grilling burgers and splashing around. I was in the pool, messing around with some friends, and I caught Lisa staring a couple times from her lounge chair. Not creepy, but lingering, like she was lost in thought. I brushed it off as her being nostalgic, watching me grow up. Or the way she'd hug me goodbye after family dinners, her hand lingering on my back just a beat longer than necessary, her cheek brushing mine. Harmless, right? That's what I told myself. Why would I suspect anything? She was Aunt Lisa. Fast forward to that Friday after the confession. Mom's gone to her shift, the movie's paused, and Lisa's just dropped this atomic bomb that leaves me reeling. I'm sitting there on the couch, beer forgotten in my hand, the room spinning a bit even though I've only had one. My brain's short-circuiting, trying to process what she said. "Lisa, this can't happen. Mom would kill us both if she found out." My voice is shaky, cracking like I'm a teenager again, but it's honest, the first thing that pops out. She nods slowly, tears welling up in her eyes, making them shine under the lamplight. "I know. God, I know, Alex. I've fought this for so long. But I've been alone since the divorce, feeling invisible, and you're everything I wish I had in a partner. Kind, strong, the way you take care of your mom, it melts me." She reaches for my hand, her fingers warm and soft, and I don't pull away immediately. Why? Part of me is curious, flattered in a way I hate admitting. It's like being seen for the first time as a man, not just the kid she watched grow up. But the other part is terrified, picturing Mom's face if she knew. We end up talking for hours that night, the movie long forgotten. She opens up more than she ever has, about her marriage, how her ex was emotionally distant, always working late, making her feel like an afterthought. "I stayed too long, hoping it'd get better," she says, voice trembling. "But it didn't. And then watching you. You remind me of what real connection feels like." I share stuff too, stuff I haven't told anyone, about feeling lost after college, the pressure to man up and provide, like Dad never did. It's weirdly intimate, like therapy but charged with this undercurrent of tension that's impossible to ignore. The air feels electric, every glance loaded. By the time Mom gets home around 2 a.m., Lisa's already left, but she texts me as soon as she's in her car, "Think about it. No pressure. Just know I'm here. I delete it right away, my heart pounding so loud I swear Mom could hear it from the driveway. The next few days are a complete blur, like walking through fog. I avoid Lisa whenever she comes over, making excuses to run errands or hide in my room with headphones on. But the seed's planted, and it grows fast. I find myself thinking about her at random times, her laugh that echoes in the house, her scent that lingers on the couch cushions, the way she looked at me with that vulnerability. It's confusing as hell. Guilt hits hard, wave after wave. What kind of son am I, entertaining this even in my thoughts? Mom notices I'm off, of course, mothers always do. You okay, sweetie? You seem distracted, she asks over breakfast one morning, her brow furrowed with concern. I force a smile and lie through my teeth, just job stress, Mom. Nothing big. Inside, though, I'm torn apart. Desire versus loyalty. Curiosity versus betrayal. It's like a war raging in my head, and I can't talk to anyone about it, not friends, not a therapist, nobody. Who would understand without judging? Then, about a week later, things escalate in a way that feels inevitable. Mom announces she's going on a weekend trip with some work friends, a nursing conference out of town, something to unwind and network. I'll be back Sunday night, she says casually over dinner. Lisa offered to check on you, make sure you're not starving. My stomach drops like a stone into a well. Part of me wants to protest, say I don't need babysitting, but another part, the dangerous part, doesn't. It stays silent. That's when I know I'm in real trouble. The setup is perfect for disaster, like the universe is testing me, and deep down, I think I wanted it to happen, to see where this pull would lead. Mom leaves early Saturday morning, the sky still dark, kissing my cheek and telling me to behave, to call if I need anything. Love you, kiddo, she says, and the words sting with irony. The house feels empty after she goes, echoey and too quiet. I try to distract myself all morning, hit the gym for an extra long workout, sweat pouring as I push weights harder than usual, trying to burn out the thoughts. Then video games, blasting zombies on screen to numb my brain. Scrolling job sites, applying to a few positions half-heartedly. But my mind keeps drifting back to Lisa, to that confession, to the what-ifs. Around noon, there's a knock at the door, sharp and expectant. My heart jumps. It's Lisa, standing there with a bag of groceries in her arms, wearing a sundress that hugs her figure just right, her hair tied back casually. Thought I'd make lunch, she says with a smile that's equal parts nervous and hopeful, like she's testing the waters. I hesitate for a split second, but let her in, knowing full well this is the moment everything could change, or implode. We cook together in the kitchen, pasta with marinara, simple stuff from scratch. Chopping vegetables side by side, the radio playing soft rock in the background. Conversation stays light at first, skirting around the elephant in the room, weather, her work deals, my job hunt. But the air's thick with unspoken words, every brush of arms accidental but charged. As we're eating on the couch, plates balanced on our laps, she finally brings it up, her voice low. Have you thought about what I said that night? I nod, fork paused mid-air, sauce dripping. Yeah. A lot. It's complicated, Lisa. She sets her plate down on the coffee table, shifts closer, her knee touching mine. I don't want to pressure you, Alex. But if you feel even a fraction of what I do, this connection, this spark, we owe it to ourselves to explore it. Her hand finds my knee, warm through my jeans, and this time, I don't move it away. That's when the real conflict hits me like a freight train. My mind screams to stop, think of Mom's trust, our family bond, the years of history that could shatter in an instant. But my body responds on autopilot, leaning in. We kiss, tentative at first, lips brushing softly, testing. Then deeper, hungrier, like a dam breaking. It's electric, forbidden, wrong on so many levels that my brain short-circuits with shame even as it happens. But in that moment, tangled in the heat, it feels right, like scratching an itch I didn't know was there. We end up in my room, clothes scattered on the floor, giving in to years of pent-up whatever this is, desire, curiosity, rebellion. Afterward, lying there breathless under the sheets, the guilt crashes in like a tidal wave, cold and overwhelming. What have we done? I whisper into the dim light, staring at the ceiling fan spinning lazily. She strokes my hair gently, her breath warm on my neck. Something beautiful, Alex. But we have to be careful. No one can know. From there, it spirals out of control faster than I could have imagined. We agree right then that it's a one-time thing, a mistake we won't repeat. But agreements like that are fragile, especially when the pull is so strong. Texts start the next day, innocent at first, had a great time, then flirty, emojis and inside jokes. By midweek, they're explicit, making my phone buzz with anticipation and dread. She sneaks over when Mom's at work, late afternoons turning into stolen hours. Each time, the high is addictive, like a drug that makes the world sharper, more alive. But the low afterward is crushing, guilt gnawing at me like acid. I start lying more, to Mom about where I've been, to friends about why I'm distant. Where were you last night? Mom asks once, eyeing me over dinner. Out with buddies, I say, avoiding her gaze, my fork scraping the plate too loudly. Inside, I'm dying, picturing the hurt in her eyes if she knew. The suspense builds with every close call, turning daily life into a high-wire act. One night, we're at Lisa's place. Her house is just a few blocks away, a cozy bungalow with plants everywhere, and things are intense, lost in the moment. Then I hear a car pull up outside, tires crunching on gravel. It's Mom, dropping by unannounced with leftovers from work, her voice calling out as she knocks. Panic surges, we scramble like teenagers, me diving into the closet with my heart hammering against my ribs, clothes half on. Lisa answers the door smoothly, chatting casually about the day, but I can hear the strain in her voice. Mom leaves after a quick exchange, none the wiser, but that scare. It amps up the tension to unbearable levels. My paranoia kicks in, every text, every glance feels risky. Lisa wants more now, dates disguised as errands, whispers of running away together for a weekend. This could be real, Alex, she says one night, eyes pleading. I pull back, conflicted, pacing the room. This isn't sustainable, Lisa. We're playing with fire, and someone's going to get burned. She cries then, hot tears on my shoulder, begging me to see it's love, not just lust wrapped in secrecy. But is it? I question everything, my feelings, her motives, the whole mess. As weeks stretch into months, the emotional toll starts mounting like debt I can't pay off. I lose sleep, tossing and turning with nightmares of Mom finding out, her face crumbling in betrayal. Appetite vanishes, food tastes like ash. Job interviews flop because I'm distracted, stumbling over answers, my mind elsewhere. Friends notice I'm distant, canceling plans last minute, you good, man, they text, and I brush it off with excuses. And Mom, she starts sensing something's off between me and Lisa, even if she can't pinpoint it. You two seem awkward lately, she comments one dinner, stirring her soup casually but watching us closely. Panic surges through me like ice water. The main conflict isn't just the affair anymore, it's the betrayal eating me from the inside out, corroding my sense of self. Am I really this guy, sneaking around, lying to the people I love? Am I destroying the two women who mean the most to me, all for fleeting moments of passion? The suspense of when it'll all blow up keeps me on edge, every day a tightrope walk over an abyss, waiting for the snap. Things simmer like that for what feels like forever, the secret becoming heavier, more suffocating. I try to end it a few times. We have to stop, I tell Lisa after one particularly intense night, my voice firm but breaking. She agrees, tearfully, but then a text comes days later, pulling me back in. It's a cycle, addictive and destructive. Meanwhile, life marches on. I land an entry-level job finally, in sales for a local company, but even that feels hollow, like going through motions. Mom and I have our routines, movie nights, her sharing work stories, but every interaction is tainted with my guilt, like I'm wearing a mask. It all comes to a head one rainy evening in late fall, the kind where the sky weeps non-stop, mirroring how I feel inside. Mom's home early from work, looking exhausted from a double shift, dark circles under her eyes. Lisa's over for coffee, as she often is, but the tension's thick enough to cut with a knife. Lisa's been pushing harder lately for me to commit, to tell Mom or at least plan a future, and I've been dodging, conflicted and scared. I'm in my room, pretending to work on my laptop, but really just staring at the screen, mind racing. I hear them talking in the kitchen, normal at first, chit-chat about the weather, work gossip. Then voices rise, sharpening. Mom's tone shifts to concern, "Lisa, you've been acting strange around Alex lately. Distant 1 minute, too close the next. Is there something I should know?" There's a long pause, the kind that stretches eternally, rain pattering against the windows. Lisa hesitates, her voice cracking when she finally speaks. I love him, Sarah. More than a friend. It's happened, we've been together. The world stops spinning. Mom's gasp echoes through the house like a gunshot. I burst out of my room, face burning hot with shame and fear, stumbling into the kitchen. "Mom, wait, let me explain," I blurt, but the words sound pathetic even to me. She's already in tears, staring at us like we're strangers, her hand clutching the counter for support. "How could you? Both of you. My best friend and my son." The confrontation explodes from there, yells ricocheting off the walls, accusations flying like daggers. Mom screams about betrayal, how Lisa was like a sister, how I've broken her heart. Lisa sobs apologies, saying it just happened, that it's real. I try to explain the unexplainable, the confusion, the pull, the guilt I've carried every day, but it comes out jumbled, defensive. "I didn't mean to hurt you, Mom. It started as. I don't know, but I love you both." She storms out, slamming the door so hard the pictures rattle, leaving Lisa and me in the ruins of what used to be our family. That night, I chase after her in the rain, driving to her sister's place where I know she'll go. We talk for hours, raw, painful, no holds barred. She cries, I cry, words pouring out like floodwaters. She feels betrayed on every level, questions our entire friendship with Lisa. Was it always like this? Did I miss the signs? I share my side, the shock of the confession, the internal war, how I hated myself for giving in. I was weak, Mom. Scared and lost. It's messy, no clean resolutions, just honest pain laid bare. The suspense peaks here, in that dim living room, the fear of losing everything, of her never forgiving me, hanging like a sword over my head. In the days and weeks that follow, things fracture even more, like a mirror shattered beyond repair. Lisa and I agree to end it for good, the damage is irreparable, the magic gone in the harsh light of reality. Mom cuts Lisa off, at least for a while, no calls, no visits, a friendship of decades on ice. I move out soon after, crashing on a friend's couch while I save for my own place, the job giving me just enough to scrape by. The emotional scars linger deep, guilt over hurting Mom, regret for giving in to temptation, shame that whispers in quiet moments. But there's this twisted growth too, from facing my weaknesses head-on. I learn about boundaries, the true cost of secrets, how desire can blind you to consequences. Looking back now, years later, that confession wasn't just words whispered on a couch, it was a catalyst for transformation, forcing me to confront parts of myself I ignored. Mom and I rebuild slowly, therapy helps, long talks over coffee where we forgive bit by bit. Our bond stronger now, forged in fire. Lisa. We don't talk much anymore, but last I heard through mutual friends, she's dating someone her age, seeming happier. Me. I'm wiser, more cautious with my heart, building a life that's mine, better job, my own apartment, even dating someone who knows my past and accepts it. So, what would you have done in my shoes? Would you have kept the affair secret forever, burying it deep, or faced the fire like I did, letting it burn everything to rebuild? Comment below, your stories might help someone out there feeling the same pull. And if forbidden desire has ever tempted you, testing your loyalties, share this video with a friend who gets it. Some moments really do change everything, for better or worse. Thanks for listening, it's a relief to finally get it all out.